guys! Today I'm going to review the pilot for the Sweeney.
You can help me put these bastards away, they've done one of ours.
Quite frankly, I didn't like your methods very much.
Regan was broadcast in 1974. It runs 77 minutes. It was a TV movie for an anthology series called Armchair Cinema. It was such a success that it became a series later called The Sweeney. The Sweeney lasted from 1975 to 1978, lasting 4 seasons and 53 episodes. They also did 2 movies for the cinema, Sweeney in 1977 and Sweeney 2 in 1978. Before all this, Regan was made in 1974 and directed by Tom Clegg and written by Ian Kennedy Martin. The Sweeney strived for authenticity and social realism. Cockney rhyme and slang is used in the dialogue and is a very gritty, realistic show with violent moments. Regan stars John Thaw as Detective Inspector Jack Regan, Dennis Waterman as Detective Sergeant George Carter, and Garfield Morgan playing their boss, Frank Haskins. So the plot's about this undercover cop, and he gets found out investigating these 2 rival gangs. And he eventually gets killed, and Regan teams up with George Carter, and he solves the crime, who did it and why. So with this being a pilot, it's got a different theme than the normal Sweeney series. However, it's still essentially the same type of format. Straight away it starts with a violent scene. Starts in a bar, and this cop gets found out, and you see him getting beaten up by these gangs, and he eventually dies. It's a very realistic, gritty look, and you can see the film Get Carter influence with this. Get Carter came out in 1971, so that was 3 years before this. But there's a lot of influences from that film to this. Whereas Regan's set in London area, Get Carter was set in the north, Newcastle. But the actual look of both these films are very similar. Very grainy, gritty look. And John Thaw's excellent. First time you see him, his very first lines, "Put your trousers on, you're nicked."
Get your trousers on. You're nicked.
It's 18 minutes before you see Dennis Waterman. He plays George Carter and you see him boxing. So that's his introduction. His character's not really wanting to team up with Regan because he doesn't like his police methods. That was surprising.
Quite frankly, I didn't like your methods very much.
Did it take a lot of courage to say that?
No, not really.
Now look, Mary, darling, I'm not trying to start an affair with you. Don't lift a bloody finger for me. I'm not asking for that. But you can help me put these bastards away. They've done one of ours.
However, eventually, through the course of the film, it's just as bad. But John Thaw's outstanding in this. There's a brilliant scene where he's going to tell this old woman that her son got killed. That's the cop who got beaten up by the gangs. And he goes to her house to tell her that he's died. And it's a brilliant performance by both of them. She's crying, getting a cup of tea while he tells her what happened. And it just goes to show what a great actor he was.
Tom died in the line of duty. He was a good policeman. We'll get the people who did it.
So there's a lot of violent scenes in this. I was surprised. There's a great scene where you say this gang, this informant, they get an ice skate, slam it down on his hand. You don't see the gore or anything. That's off cam. I presume his fingers got cut off with ice skate. So this is a very un-PC production as well. It would never be made these days because of the dialogue. And it's weird, but it's hard not to laugh. There's a scene where he says, "Is he a puff?"
Little Strange lives with his granny.
You pup?
Nah, just a bit odd.
There's an hilarious scene where he finds out that his ex-wife, she's dating a German, so he's going on about Hitler jokes, saying he's a kraut.
Dutch girls.
I don't come from Sweden or Holland. I come from Germany.
Germany?
Yes? Have I said something funny?
No, I've just had a couple of drinks. I don't like crowds.
Hey, Phil, them bloody Germans were bad buggers to our lads in the war.
Das war ein Befehl! Der andere
Bones, that was over 8 years ago. We might have some German subscribers. I won't forget what the buggers did. Hey, Bones, shut it. I always wanted to say that.
I am sitting in this house for which I pay £700 a year, listening to young Adolf, who intends to move in rent-free.
Die gesamte Generalität ist nichts weiter als ein Haufen niederträchtiger, treuloser Feiglinge!
Even little things like George Carter when he sat in the car and he says, look at the state of her. Like little things.
Oh dear, look at the state of her. Did you see that?
Like little things like that would be classed as sexist and would never be done this day. Hey, if you ride round Newcastle on a night, he'll say you're right few states. Like bloody back end of buses, half of them. Is that right? But the thing is, how do you portray a character who's sexist or a little bit of a bigot? Well, dialogue like that. Hey, Phil, I hate these politically correct bloody fannies. This bloody woke culture, it's a fucking disgrace.
It's a fucking disgrace. What a fucking disgrace.
So I thought this was a great start for the TV show, The Sweeney. It has a gritty look of what life's like in the 70s. Although it's not for everyone's tastes, especially people who are like of a sensitive nature, woke, they'll not get anything out of this, but I really enjoyed it. So out of 10 I'll give it an 8. 8 out of 10. And you think Bones again like it? I thought it was bloody excellent, Phil. Top marks. These bloody woke buggers are wrapped in cotton wool.
Oh my.
So now that I've reviewed all 3 of the Sweeney films, if you count this one as a film, I'll rank them all in order. So in 3rd place, I've got this one, Regan, from 1974.
Get your trousers on. You're licked.
It's an excellent TV movie, but the reason it's in 3rd place is because the other 2 were for the cinema, so they have bigger budgets and there's more action in the other 2 films. In 2nd place, I've got The Sweeney 2 from 1978.
They're back on the big screen, tougher than ever. John Thaw and Dennis Waterman. The team that made Sweeney a force to remember.
I've never seen so many dead people.
This is a great film. It's got good locations. They went abroad to make this film, and it's also got violence, and it's a very action-packed film. And in 1st place, I've got The Sweeney from 1977.
Where's the action? Try San Francisco for the impact of Bullet. Or New York for the sweet revenge of Death Wish. Or Marseille for the payoff of the French Connection. But you'll hit the jackpot in London with the total shock suspense of Sweeney.
I think this is a fantastic film. It's got violence, it's got action, and it's got a surprisingly downbeat ending as well. That was a surprise when I was watching it. So that's definitely my favourite of the 3 films. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe and share. Bye everyone. Bye. Bye.
You know, that's quite insulting.
Fact. I've never met a German that I've liked.
Vernichtet! Feiglinge! Verreiter! Versager!
Bitte gerne. Jetzt beruhig dich doch.